What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Now today I am going to make a video on Shadowhunters. Now this is my favorite show currently airing on TV right now. Now some of you may say, whoa, you're a big Flash fan as well. Yes, I love the Flash, but before I actually started watching the Flash, um I was watching other shows and stuff like that. Now, I stumbled upon this show, and this was something that was also coming on the same night as The Flash. So, I used to watch this first. Now, this is a very interesting show because it combines so many things. If you're fans of like magic, this is a show for you. If you're fans of like monsters and underworld kind of stories, this is a show for you as well because it features vampires, it features werewolves, it features warlocks, witches, um, and like underworld creatures. They have this whole Sealy Queen, I believe, and you guys know of those little magical beings that live pretty much underneath a bridge and underneath water. um but anyway, you get the gist of the story. This has so many characters and so many stories to be told. Within 1 hour they managed to juggle all these kind of stories. So, you have on my screen basically what you're seeing in front of you. This is Kat McNamara. Now, you guys know that she is also currently on Arrow this season, and she's playing Mia, aka Black Star. Now, Mia is the daughter of Felicity Smoke and Oliver Queen. Now, as you can see within this season, she just discovers that, she has a brother who is Oliver's son, William. Now, Oliver did have William with another person before Felicity, so Felicity is kind of like the adoptive mother right now for William, you know. So they're making family work basically. As you can see in the future, there is, some tension between the two, and basically they have to, reconnect with one another for the sake of their family. Now, this is an Arrow video. This is Shadowhunters. Now, as you can see, you will see this familiar face on the Shadowhunters show. She plays Clary Fairchild. She is the child of Valentine. Now, Valentine was a crazy, demented villain in the first season, but he was slowly put to rest, seeing as Clary has succeeded in actually killing her own father. But anyway, Kat McNamara is blowing up throughout social media, and just for her appearing on two shows in the same night is amazing, because you have Arrow, which comes on at 8 o'clock on the CW, and then you have Shadowhunters, which also has an 8 o'clock time slot, but it airs on Freeform. And the basic updates with the show, what's been happening. There's a war, basically. Now, in the last episode, Luke's pack was demolished by, I forgot her name, but it was a vampire. And as you can see, this causes like an uprising and stuff like that because you have vampires slaughtering werewolves. Now, that doesn't go well in the Shadowhunters world. As you can see, the Clay will eventually have to answer to, these massacres that's going around the city. The Shadowhunters have a lot of work on their hands. They have to capture this vampire and stop her at any cost. So that's like one of the stories that's going on. And then the second story you have is Clary's brother Jonathan has been brought back to life. Now, he is everywhere at the same time, because he is traveling. He has the apartment that they were in prior to last season's explosion. Now we just discovered that the apartment is it's able to teleport itself anywhere around the world, which is amazing to have a moving apartment. And as you can see within this season, they showcased many different locations in which the apartment was able to travel to. You had Paris. Um, I believe there was like a Europe place, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I felt like it was Europe or something like that. But anyway, as I said, the apartment, it is able to travel, by teleporting to any place, So that's pretty crafty. If you wanted to try to capture Jonathan, it would be very hard because the apartment can just move and vanish before your eyes. So that's what happened during last season's big showdown. Simon, speaking of Simon anyway, Simon has been, he had this very much heavy weight on his shoulders because he believed himself that he has killed Clary. Now, we do know Simon has had the mark of Cain on his forehead, and not only is he like the strongest vampire walking around, being a daylighter, he has had this mark of Cain, meaning no one can come near him because this mark will go off and it would destroy anything and anyone in its path. Now, that was showcased during this whole takedown scene. There was a huge fight with the shadowhunters. They were taking on Lilith. Now, Lilith was the lady that, was controlling Jace at one point, and she is like the mother of all evil. That is what they call her. She's also the mother of Jonathan. Now, not the physical mother, but she kind of like just, I don't know. They didn't really explain the situation, but he considers her his mom. And as I said, she's like the mother of all evil, and Jonathan is evil. He has the face of like death. Very ugly, but since he was reborn, brought back to life, that face is no longer in his actual face. Like, he has his actual human form back, which looks even as scary as his hell face. Um, Now, that's what I call it. I don't want it to get mixed up with like Lucifer's face, but it kind of resembles something like that. He can turn it on and turn it off, just like how Lucifer was able to do it. And that's to show how he really looks. And he's part demon, so that's where the face came from for Jonathan. He was part demon. That's how he was walking around in those seasons until he actually, got killed. And then once he was brought back to life, that brought back his human face. But he still has the demon inside of him. Now, Jonathan's whole purpose, he wants to get to know Clary, and he wants her to never leave his side. So as you can see throughout this season, where they were in this apartment, he didn't want her to leave anywhere. He kept saying that he wanted to protect her, this, that, and the third, and he was being very, very weird. So Clary decides, what? I am very much still alive. I'm going to go back to the Shadowhunters, and everything is going to be all fixed. I'm going to be able to go there. They're going to be able to, apprehend Jonathan, and, things can go back to the way they were. But then she soon comes to find out that Lilith has bonded them physically. Now, she decides to, stab Jonathan through the chin, like upward into the roof of his mouth with her blade, and Jonathan starts to bleed out. Now, mind you, as I said, they are bonded, so Jonathan endures pain, Clary feels his pain. So she discovers that after she stabs him, she starts bleeding out. She says what's going on, and then she lifts open her shirt just a little bit, showcasing like the upper chest area. Um, that there was a marking there that bonds them. Now, that is a situation because you can't do anything to Jonathan without actually hurting Clary. So that means Jonathan right now is untouchable. And that makes it very hard. So Clary is actually able to escape this house. We have not yet seen Lilith, as the rumor is that she was actually banished to Eden. So I'm guessing that's where they're holding her. Jonathan is completely operating on his own. He is out looking for this family sword. Now, this sword allows him to summon like a shadow demon army, basically. And the shadow hunters and the entire clave, they can't let that happen, because if they do, the whole world is doomed, basically. So they have to try to keep hunting down Jonathan, and it's becoming increasingly hard because of the house. It can move anywhere in the world. It can be on any surface of the map. So that makes it very hard, to pinpoint a location, because one minute he could be there, the next minute he's gone somewhere else, and there is no traces. So that's the whole Shadowhunter situation. They're trying to prevent these wars between vampires and the wolves. They are dealing with the whole Jonathan situation. Then you have Clary being very much alive, and she could still very much go down for her events that took place within last season. Her taking the angel's wish, and also, taking the angel's life. Now, we do know that that wasn't her doing exactly, but she did summon the angel, and the angel was killed. And she used the wish to bring back Jace, because Jace had died battling Jonathan. So that's what happened during the whole last season big shit bash, whatever you want to call it, the big showdown. Um, Jace lost his life. Clary summons the angel. So the angel comes. The angel grants her wish and brings Jace back to life. But at the same time, the angel dies right after that, and that was the whole, we're going to arrest Clary for doing this, because basically she summoned an angel, and then it was kind of like she killed the angel. It's kind of like a setup. You don't kill higher beings, and especially not angel. The angel does very good work for the entire world. And their whole situation with her taking the wish kind of selfishly. Now, I'm like 50-50, because one, she could have used that to like cure something else, world hunger, or create peace or something like that. But instead, she decided to bring back Jace, and that's kind of why the Clave, they kind of viewed that as like a selfish wish, and, they wanted to penalize her for that. So then you get to this season. Like I said, she's alive. People are well aware of it. She was welcomed back at the Shadowhunters HQ, so she is back to work. And she is probably their only leads as to where Jonathan can be all the time, seeing as they have this bond. So it's very interesting to see where they go with this story. We do know that they are, in their final season, so Shadowhunters will be no more after this season. I am probably going to cry like a little schoolgirl, because I love this show. I love the characters. I love the stories that were being told. And it's going to suck that this show is going to end. Yet another show is going off, and I won't see anything like this. Um, and Kat, she has a promising future within Arrow, but as you can see, Arrow is on its last season as well. So this is going to be a very big emotional thing for her. You have her legit show in Shadowhunters, which is going off. And then you have her backup show, which is Arrow, and she came on mid-season, but still, she came on to this show, and now next season is going to be over. Now, Arrow is returning for season 8, but they're only going to have 10 episodes. And who knows if Kat McNamara is going to actually be in all 10 episodes. But I do expect season 8 to make, that time jump and stuff like that. I don't know if they're going to make a super time jump, but, maybe they'll just show more flash forward scenes, featuring her. So that's what I'm hoping, to still get to see her face on TV somewhere. I'm a huge fan of her. Hopefully she sees this video. I'm going to try to put a portion of it on Instagram because that's where I follow her. And she always replies back to my messages that I leave her, you know. So yeah, I wouldn't say that we're exactly friends, but take a very she does take notice of her fans who write, generally nice messages and stuff like that. There are a lot of horn dogs out there. I admire her natural beauty and I just love her hair. And she's a great actor, and a great martial artist too, because as you can see, this is all her doing these stunts, within Arrow, taking up the cage fighting and stuff like that and shooting arrows actually, and then on Shadowhunters, she's able to, do these like battles with these swords and, do hand to hand combat and stuff like that. So she's definitely a great actor. She's very beautiful, very young, very inspiring to any upcoming female actors and stuff like that. So, congratulations on her success and for her being able to be on 2 shows in one night. That is like legendary right there, you know. Um, but yeah, that's all I have to say about Shadowhunters. You guys get the update. I will make more videos as in, this upcoming weeks, seeing as all the shows will be on its break. Um, I will discuss Black Lightning. Now, that's something that I don't really discuss or see anybody really discuss it, seeing as it doesn't exist in the Arrowverse. But I will do videos for that. Someone wanted a video on the finale and what I thought about it, so I will make that video. If any other Shadowhunter information comes up, I will make more videos like that, during these upcoming tough weeks because Flash is on break. Arrow is definitely on break as well. And Supergirl, they will be going on break. I'm not sure when exactly, but soon they should be going on break or they should be finishing up their season actually because in April, Legends is coming back. I believe April 1st is when the Legends comes back. I could be wrong, but double check my source. Look online to see when. But we have a lot to look forward to and a lot to go over during this, 3 weeks to a month break time from the shows. So make sure you guys hit up my social medias with topics and questions, stuff to go over to make videos for. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Share my link to my channel if you're a loyal subscriber. If you're not new, you can share my link. And if you're new, you can also share the link too and just make sure you subscribe. Make sure your bell and notification post is turned on. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.